Hey, what's up, Moyo Nation? We're talking about being an ember. I told you an ember was a small piece of coal or wood that's glowing in the midst of a dying fire. And we went down the 5 principles of being an ember. And the last one we talked about yesterday was resilience. And I think resilience is so important. I think it's probably the most significant quality of being an ember. I want to talk about it a little bit more, and I want to share a story. One of my favorite stories about resilience. It involves Ulysses S. Grant in the Civil War. I said that resilience was the ability to bounce back from difficulty, to overcome difficulty, and continue on. Ulysses S. Grant was a general who was trying to overtake Vicksburg, which was a massive battle. If the North could win that battle, it would change the war. And on 2 occasions, Grant had tried to attack Vicksburg and was repelled both times. But he wouldn't give up. He wouldn't stop. So he had a plan that was way outside of the box. He decided that he would march his troops all the way around Vicksburg on the opposite side of the Mississippi River, avoiding the troops in Vicksburg, go all the way to the south so that he could attack in from the south. And then he had the military warships steam down the Mississippi River past Vicksburg as fast as they could, trying to miss the huge armaments in Vicksburg. There were 30 ships that went past, 22 made it, and 8 were sunk. But once those ships got past, they were able to pick up Grant and his men on the western side of the Mississippi and ferry them to the east. And then Grant could march towards Vicksburg from the south. But he made an incredible decision that hadn't been done up to this point. He cut himself off and cut his troops off from all supply lines because they would only slow him down, and decided he would make that march and live and feed only on the land. It was a huge move because all the time they traveled with supply lines, but that slowed him down. And he didn't want to be slowed down. So him and his troops were incredibly resilient. They marched north to Vicksburg, ready to fight, living day by day off the land. They had learned from what had happened, and they made adjustments, and they overcame that difficulty. They were incredibly resilient, and eventually were able to fight their way to Vicksburg and overcome and take Vicksburg. And it was the first major change in the Civil War, all because of Ulysses S. Grant's resilience. Now, his actions beyond that are not stuff that are fantastic to think about, but that resilience that he showed was incredible. And that's being an ember. He's famous for a statement, one of my favorite quotes. He said, in a battle, when both sides consider themselves beaten, it is he who continues the fight that wins. That's resilience. Continuing the fight, overcoming the difficulty. That's what we need to be if we're going to be an ember. If we're in the midst of difficult times, of fires that are burning out, passion that's dying, we've got to be the ember. And one of the most significant qualities of being the ember is resilience. And so I want to leave you with that quote. In the midst of a battle, when both sides consider themselves beaten, it is he who continues the attack that wins. Be resilient. Keep fighting. Keep continuing. Be the ember. And let's make the most of every opportunity everywhere we go.